Get ready to enter the Thrivetime Show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C and Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get.
Now, this is what's some amazing statistics here. Forbes magazine is showing that, and this is a March 11th article in 2013, U.S. Department of Labor Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that more than 2 million Americans are voluntarily leaving their jobs every month. And really what they say is it all comes down to poor leadership. I mean, people are literally leaving their jobs because they're like, I'm in a company, there's no leadership, no one has a plan, I'm going to move on. There's 2 million people in a recession where people are having a hard time finding jobs. There's 2 million Americans who are going, I'm out of here. And when they're asked why you're leaving, they say, well, there's no plan here. There's no plan for advancement. I don't see myself getting any farther ahead, so I'm moving on. And it's just, it's unbelievable. Now, point number 6 here. This is, again, these attributes, these 11 attributes that we have to have if we want to become a leader. This one is a big one. The habit of doing more than paid for. Now, confession here, I have learned this process to the point where it's become an unhealthy thing. Because when you do the habit of doing more than paid for, it is amazing what will happen, and it creates this cycle of upward mobility. So if I have a client, let's say here, and I charge the client, $10 to do X, Y, and Z, and then I also throw in the bonus of A, B, C, this guy can't help but tell another client about what's going on because he got all this free stuff.
Right.
And so he tells him, hey, you should use this guy. And it just keeps coming back to me over and over and over, and it just keeps growing. As far as if you're working with an organization who maybe hasn't, like I think recently, I know you were working with a big sales organization.
Yes.
And they're trying to convince these people on a salary to do more than paid for. How do you work with people like that, or how do you try to teach the concept of doing more than paid for?
Yeah. Well, it is very difficult in that salaried world to encourage and inspire people to do more than what they're paid for. Because again, they're in this mindset, what we were talking about a little bit ago, they're in this mindset of, I will come and work for you, I will put in hours if you give me a certain amount of money. Mm-hmm. But if you're not going to give me a certain amount of money, then I'm going to push back and not do a certain amount of hours.
Why is it so important for a leader then to do more than is paid for?
Exactly, because it's an example. If you want to inspire, if you want to lead, the classic thing, you can't lead where you won't go. You can talk about it and you can point, but you can't lead unless you're there. You can't teach what you don't know. So we as leaders, so often, as we want more responsibility, we want to have this influence over people, but then when all of a sudden things begin to happen and are difficult in our life, we get mad, we get frustrated, we start blaming people. But really, Clay, the whole idea there is life is preparing us to lead. You can't lead where you won't go.
I kind of had this epiphany here when you were talking about this, but you're saying
happens often.
You can't lead where you won't go. So you're saying, like, if you're yelling at your guys to get up to the top of this mountain, but you won't go, it's hard to get them to go there.
Oh, totally.
That's amazing. For you, as you've made the jump to self-employment, is there any tricks you do to try to wow event planners or wow customers, or anything you do to try to go over and above what they expect? I mean, is there any kind of rules you have in place?
Oh, definitely. Yes. What is it? The classic, you underpromise and overdeliver. Mm-hmm. So I'm always, I will bring more to the table. I ask them, hey, are you having any problems with getting your event going? Is there anything I can do to help you? How can I make your job easier? As opposed to, I'll just come and speak at your event. How can I make your job as an event planner easier? Just did that the other day with a gal.
When I first learned this, I remember I was building the DJ company, and I was trying to think of how can I do this? And Lori Montag, who is the lady who started the Zany Bands and the Slap Watch, she said, Clay, after every wedding, when the bride and the groom get home to their house, if you'll just send them a gift card that says, thank you for allowing us to provide entertainment for your wedding. And we appreciate the opportunity. And so just one more way to have for us to celebrate your marriage, we'd like to give you 2 free movie passes on us. And every time I would do it, at first I thought, whatever, I'm going to have to spend $20 per bride on this. Well, I would start sending these movie passes out, and brides are telling 3, 4, 5 friends, hey, this DJ company, they did a great job. Then after the wedding, they sent a handwritten note, and a couple weeks later, they sent these movie tickets. And I started discovering these $20 movie tickets, I think they were actually $10 movie tickets, they were turning into $600 referrals.
Wow.
And it's unbelievable. And so today, I always try to think about whatever I promise to do just one step more, and it really does work, though.
Yeah,
now,
I find myself, I make follow-up phone calls after every event that I go speak to.
So right now, I mean, even though you've had a lot of success, you still are trying to wow the event planners.
Oh yeah, because I have success because I wowed. If you stop wowing, you can see where that equation's going.
All right, so moving on to principle number 7 here, is having a pleasing personality. Now, as far as having a pleasing personality, I think that's hard because I think we all like to think that we have just a sensational personality. And so I know for me, I kind of have to audit myself and say, well, what are my attributes that I do well? What do I not do well? So for me, like I am extremely focused, and I do not require motivation, food, water, sleep. I can just go. I'm like a block of wood or something. I don't know. I don't require a lot of that stuff. But at the same time, I don't give a lot of that stuff. So the idea of buying someone lunch, the idea of talking to somebody at work, the idea of going out for a beverage, the idea of encouraging somebody, to me is foreign. Because I don't need it. So I think, well, why would you need it?
Yeah.
So Napoleon Hill writes, no slovenly, careless person can become a successful leader. Leadership calls for respect. Followers will not respect a leader who does not grade high on all the factors of a pleasing personality. And I guess to give you an example of that, I see a lot of times where you'll hire a guy who has super talent, whether it be a videographer, a salesperson, somebody cutting hair, whatever business that I'm involved in on the ownership level, you have a super talent there, or a business I'm coaching with, somebody's really awesome at something, but their personality's terrible. You know, they're negative, they're caustic, they're not encouraging. There's something going on there, something weird. But it's not just them, it's me too. We all have a personality quirk or an issue or a failing. So if somebody, is struggling to develop a pleasing personality, I mean, if they look at this list and they go, gosh, that's something I do struggle with, what would you encourage them to do to develop a more pleasing personality?
Well, I think number one, a lot of times the non-pleasing personality is simply coming from a person that doesn't value people, doesn't value the human element of the work, but they value much more the production or the task. That's where they're focused. And so they kind of look over the person and into the production, if that makes sense.
So a lot of leaders are looking over the human element.
Exactly.
Okay.
Happens a lot. And for me, as I began to grow as a leader more and more, I became a little too human focused and forgot about the production. And so a lot of times now what I do to help people just in becoming more human focused is, again, first of all, think of the human, make eye contact. It makes a huge difference just to make eye contact. Throw in a smile, all right? And when they say something to you, repeat back to them what they just said so that they can hear that you understand.
Now, one thing that I was told as a young leader trying to grow my business, and this was a really fun task that I was given. One of my mentors told me. He said, write out all the character traits of a pleasing personality. And so I wrote, somebody who's nice. I wrote somebody who smiles a lot. I wrote somebody who's a hard worker. And I made all this big list of all these things that people should do, I thought, well, a good boss is, and I was describing all these things a great boss does. A great boss is a great trainer. A great boss is organized, and I'm writing all these things. Well, then the mentor, he kind of slaps me upside the head and says, now rate yourself on that, A through F. A being, you're great at that area, F being you're terrible. And I'd never done that. So I'm going through and I'm like, smiles, that's an F, maybe an F plus. Nice, F. Hard worker, A. Got that all day. Trainer, I was like, I didn't train people. I would just yell at people for not doing it well.
Right.
And then being organized, I'm like, I got about a B here. And he's like, well, until you're an A in all those areas, you can't expect anyone to want to follow you. And I just thought, oh, so simple. But I mean, I think that's the one thing we can all do. We could write down a list of all the character traits that we think are present in a great leader, and then ask ourselves kind of where we're at on those, maybe a little bit. Now, I want to ask you this here because, and I'm going to give you this pen because you are a former teacher, and I feel like you need this.
Yes.
So I'm going to switch you seats.
Ooh, I
I'm going to
feel
switch
good.
you. I'm switching you. That's what I'm doing here. This is like, it's like the halfway point where we switch there. So
Halftime.
Halftime. Principle number 8. Napoleon Hill says that the great attributes these leaders have to become successful is they have to have sympathy and understanding. And the quote here is, the successful leader must be in sympathy with his followers. Moreover, he must understand them and their problems. How can I become more sympathetic and more understanding, I guess, of my employees? How do I do that?
Well, have you ever had somebody that you're talking to and you're trying to explain a problem or a struggle or a situation that you're trying to get through, and that person begins to talk to you and they begin to act like they understand, but they're not using the right language, and immediately you're just going, you have no idea where I am right now. You're just talking to me.
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel about that person talking to you, Clay?
Well, you feel like they're being patronizing.
Yeah.
You feel like they're not listening. I mean, you feel small.
Right. So once again, just like we were talking about earlier, you can only lead, or you can't lead where you won't go. So I have to be willing to embrace my own challenges, be willing to embrace the difficulties and struggles that I have, so that when somebody else has difficulties and struggles, I'm able to help them with theirs. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if I haven't ever experienced that, because I was the robot that always did everything right and always had success, then when somebody comes to me and says, man, I'm really struggling with this thing, I can't understand because I've never been there before.
Could you give me maybe an example of how you would try to be sympathetic with a kid who was maybe at the camp when you were a counselor, or maybe in your business today, how you can be sympathetic to people when they don't necessarily see things the way you see things?
Totally. I think it's, for me personally, I just ask them, well, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? And then if they say, well, it makes me feel mad, it doesn't take me long at all to tap into some time when I felt mad. Or how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? Well, it makes me feel sad, or it makes me feel happy, or if it makes me feel small, or it makes me feel angry, or something like that.
But you asked that question.
I ask that question all the time. I even ask it with my own employees when they come and they're going through something or they're trying to accomplish.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah, so here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months, or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with. So.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Morrow. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Cockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours where he does these tours all across the country where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building it into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy, Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company or, navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the world's highest rated and most reviewed business workshops because we teach you what you need to know to grow. You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered.
The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
And now you may be thinking, what does it actually cost to attend an in-person 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show business workshop? Well, good news. The tickets are $250 or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, they're $250 or whatever price you can afford. I grew up without money, and I know what it's like to live without money. So if you're out there today and you want to attend our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop, all you got to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com to request those tickets. And if you can't afford $250, we have scholarship pricing available to make it affordable for you.